Yep. High Five.
Yeah. Riff.
I mean, it was a gang. It was all everybody was trying, like I tell you, everybody was trying to get that boy group. You know what I'm saying? It was Boys II Men set that off, and everybody was trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the labels was looking for. And it was kind of like they wasn't looking outside that for anything else. And we actually wanted to do something a little different than what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of just had to go along because, you know, when the label's footing the bill, wasn't a lot you could do.
Mm-hmm. Got to hold your tongue and be like, I don't want to sing this, but
hold your tongue a lot.
We got to do it.
Yeah, it's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way, at least the way it was, you know, then. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't for the format change going on now, it'd probably still be like that. But, you know what I'm saying, these artists nowadays ain't nearly as dependent on their labels as they was back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what was it like, the album dropping, you guys going out on the road and performing?
Man, as soon as the album dropped, they shot us out. We was constantly on the road, constantly traveling. I mean, some things I think a lot of people don't realize is when they say they want to do that, when you start finding out the business behind doing that and how, you know, your life kind of really changed. It's not like you fly into town, hit a show, and, you know what I'm saying, go party. You hit town, you might hit radio here, you're going to have to do meet and greets over here. Your whole day is planned out for you. By the end of it, you're tired. You know what I'm saying? So they're making you work, especially since they done invested in that album.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're trying to get a hit so they can get the return on their money.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to put you to work.
Mm-hmm. So basically, you going to grind.
You going to grind. You know what I'm saying? You going to grind. I mean, you got some cats that don't really make that particular grind, but there's some grind going on behind the scene. And you had to do something to get there. You know what I'm saying? You got to put in work.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sure in between the grinding time, y'all guys found time to go to the mall and get your starter caps and your beepers and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, we was going to the mall. I don't know if we was really going there for that. That was kind of an ends to a means to an end.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? We was going there for sure. I know as we go. We was going there for sure to make sure that, let's see, who's the cutie in this town? So, I mean, I'm going to keep it real.
Scouting by the food court.
We was 17, 18, 19, you know, and we was doing something that we didn't even think we was going to really be doing.
Mm.
So, yeah, when we got a moment, we did, no doubt.
Yeah, but, hey, what you doing? I buy your Orange Julius.
You know?
All right, now coming off the first album, what was the process like doing the follow-up and what happened after that with Zoo?
Man, we just had issues. There were different issues. I mean, you see people going through all kinds of things. And with us, I mean, we had a lot of love for each other individually, but there was a whole lot of behind-the-scenes things that people deal with. And one of those things, you know, main thing is always just know who you're working with. You know who you're working with, know what they're really about. You know what I'm saying? Don't let people come in and divide you up, because there was a lot of divisive people around us who would come around. Mm-hmm. And you find yourselves being pulled apart just because you got people over here wanting to do this, whispering in your ear, telling you, you know, oh, you can be better than that, you can do this by yourself, woo, woo, woo. And it's really started creating division among us. So when between the first album and the second one we started recording, there was just a whole lot of things going on with the business. You know, things wasn't going the way we wanted them to. We wasn't doing, you know, music the way we wanted to do. We wasn't really doing it how we wanted to. It's kind of like, you seen us up there in suits and bouncing around, but, you know, in our heart, we want to be doing something else. So a lot of us, you know, we just wasn't happy with the situation, but, you know, we kind of felt stuck at that point. Because, you know, you don't want to, you enjoy, you know, all the other parts of it, but it's like, we want to get out of this. You know, so it was a struggle between us and our management and Zoo, which Zoo was looking for a hit at the time, and they wanted what they wanted, and it was kind of a different vision than we had. Okay,
so it was like irreconcilable differences, kind of.
Right, because during that, and even between there, if you notice, between the first album and the second album, we went from 5 to 4. Because we ended up dropping one of the members just for issues, and we let management kind of, I feel, instigate that situation where we ended up dropping Ivan Shaw at the time from the group. Because we had, you know, things going on in our personal lives as well.
So it was definitely a lot for all you guys to juggle, thrown into this beast, which is the music biz, and then you got egos, you got everything else that come attached with it that they don't tell you in the contract.
Oh, no. Just a lot of different things. I give it to, not naming names, we just had somebody in our management, though, give us a nice quote about make sure, it's the people from the outside that's always looking at what you have, and they kind of start trying to figure ways to get in the middle of that. And, I learned it comes from the inside, too. Mm-hmm. The people that you're supposed to be trusting with the things you're doing turn out that they really don't got your back
right
the way you think they do.
Mm-hmm. Goes back to the old saying, watch the company you keep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now before we go to the next question, can you clarify what woo-woo is? I believe woo-woo is a Cali West Coast slang. Explain it for those that don't know about it, that's from the East Coast or from the South.
Man, you got me. You when you find out, let me know.
So I guess we're both clueless, but I believe woo-woo is a popular West Coast term. Now, by you guys being the West Coast R&B group, tell me about like the influence of like Troop, because Troop came out of Pasadena, set it off, and pretty much like the West Coast New Edition. Oh man,
Troop was tight. You know what I'm saying? They had songs back in the day. There was some cool cats. It was actually John was one of the boys who was real cool with, doing the little deep voice. I used to call him Little Johnny Gill. But they had a lot of influence. I mean, in fact, some of the first songs that we learned was their songs, because we was like, man, we want to do this, this particular style of music. We like this. For us, that was who it was. They was tight.
Definitely a tight group. Then, of course, the golden standard for male R&B groups, New Edition. I think, because some groups, they tendency to look at New Edition was like, okay, we're going to model ourselves after New Edition.
I think it was probably, and it was more so like that. I mean, because New Edition was big on the West too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, New Edition was just, they was nice. You know what I'm saying? And they've been doing it for a while longer. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it since they were young, little youngins. Mm-hmm. So, they had that experience, and that was who somebody, on our side, because Truth came a little bit later, mm-hmm. and they had to have something to model after. One of the things we looked at is, who did they model themselves after? You always go back to, like, old school artists and see what they did. New Edition did the same thing that the Temptations was doing. Jackson 5, that whole Motown thing, mm-hmm. That's kind of where they came from.
Mm-hmm.